ever wondered why every time we search for best countries for Americans to move to, why are all the same countries always dominating the conversation? Okay, like we can only go to New Zealand, like there's only Lisbon, Portugal, like there's only Barcelona, Spain, there's only Costa Rica, as though the world is not huge. I think there are lots and lots of hidden gems. And contrary to popular belief, there are American expats living all over the world, and they're not on YouTube sharing their journey. So let me just share with you five hidden gem destinations that I think you should consider that should make your list. Now, I'm going to only give you five, but all five of these have something in common. All five have a low cost of living. Each one of these places that I'm going to mention to you, you can go to and you can live as a single person for under $1,500 a month. Okay? Let's start, shall we, with Africa. Kigali, Rwanda, I believe is a hidden gem. I personally know several people who have relocated there within the last 10 years. And I think this is a thriving city. It is a city, so you will have over 1 million in population. It does have its own international airport. But I think it's just not, it doesn't make the quote unquote popular list. And I think that that is a mistake, a huge mistake. Okay. Let's look at the continent of Europe. Now, I'm going to mention the first two countries I'm going to mention. We do see the countries on some of the list, but we see the same cities within the countries, if you will. Okay. So let's look at France first, because I know that most of us, when we look at the things that are important to us and we have that little checklist, France actually meets a lot of the things that we identify as being important to us as Americans when we're leaving the United States. But the challenging thing is the language factor. And that's not to be taken lightly. The culture and the language, but the language especially, not to be taken lightly. But I do want to mention two areas in France, and excuse me if I mispronounce them. But the first one is Reims. Okay. I think that this is an area just you don't hear much about, but I have heard about it in my personal travels. And I think that, it offers UNESCO sites, it offers low cost of living. It's not so far from Paris. That you feel, far from the quote unquote, popular destinations that are the destination spot that's in France. But you're a little bit on the outskirts, and I think you can get a lot for your money, and you can get a different quality of life when you're outside of, let's say, a city like Paris, okay? Another mention inside of France another place that I want to mention that's inside of France is Marseille. Marseille is a very eclectic, very diverse area. A lot of Northern Africans influence there and culture there. I think that I just don't see it enough for what it has to offer. So I would also add Marseille to the list, also a city. So you're going to have a population there, but you're going to have a nice balance of culture and a little less hectic life than if you were in the city of Paris. And of course, that lower cost of living is never going to be a bad thing, is it? Okay. So if you can get over that hurdle, that barrier of language, then those are two areas within France that I would suggest. Okay. Let's move over to Italy. We all hear a lot about Italy, especially with the real estate investment opportunities. France, by the way, is another country as a whole that has a lot of areas, especially in the outside of the cities, that has a lot of opportunity for real estate investment, especially if you don't mind a fixer-upper, just like Italy, okay? But in Italy, here's an area that I just do not hear about. And again, forgive me if I mispronounce this, but it's called Brescia. Brescia. Just look at the screen, okay? I think you were the closest international airport is probably like I would say an hour away. You have high speed trains, but probably like an hour away. But again, under 1,500 in cost of living. You A little less on the population side than the other two that I've mentioned in France. Brescia, I would say, is more like around 200,000 in population. Okay. And um, just an underrated hidden gem, in my opinion. Okay. As is a lot of areas in Italy, but this one in particular is what I want to mention for you today. Another place that many of you have probably visited, but I would implore you to put it on your list, especially if you're already looking inside of this country, and that would be Mexico, Cozumel, Mexico to be exact. I know places like Mexico City and Tulum comes up on a lot of the best of lists, but I think Cozumel is just far underrated and a hidden gem. They are very accustomed. I think Mexico in general is an easy transition for Americans, and they are used to Americans coming and going. They're used to the visitors. They're used to the people that's there for a day or two. Okay. But I implore you to stay. If you go there and you stay a while, you might not want to leave. Okay. Um, I would say of all the places that I mentioned so far, it has the lower of cost of living. So you probably can get away with around with living there for under 1,200, believe it or not, in Cozumel. Okay. So those are my hidden gems, all under $1,500. All I think you should consider if you're looking to leave the US and keep your cost of living low. Okay. All right. I hope that's helpful to you. If it is, please subscribe to the channel and hit the share, hit the like, and I'll see you soon. Okay. Ciao.